You are not a mistake. You are exactly who you're meant to be. And I need you to let that sink in, because too many people walk through life believing they were born behind, born broken, or born without what it takes. Let me tell you something real. Every scar you carry, every setback you survived, every chapter you thought would break you, those weren't accidents. Those were assignments. Those were the moments that shaped the strength you don't even realize you have yet. People look at their past and think it disqualifies them. They think the mistakes, the failures, the disappointments prove they're not enough. But what if I told you that the very things you're ashamed of are the exact things that built your resilience? What if I told you that the hard seasons didn't happen to show you your weakness, but to introduce you to your power? What if I told you that the reason you're still standing, even after everything you've been through, is because you were made for something bigger than you've ever allowed yourself to imagine? I need you to understand this. Nothing about you is accidental. Your personality, your struggles, your gifts, your story, every piece of it plays a role in the person you're becoming. You weren't supposed to be like everyone else. You weren't supposed to fit into the world's boxes. You weren't supposed to walk somebody else's path. You were designed for a journey that nobody else can walk but you. And the challenges you faced were the exact challenges needed to prepare you for where you're going. See, when I say you're not a mistake, I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about the way life molds you through pressure, like a diamond forming in the dark. The late nights where you felt alone, they taught you endurance. The betrayals, they taught you discernment. The failures, they taught you growth. The moments where you didn't know how you'd make it, they taught you faith in your own strength. Everything you've lived through created a version of you that didn't exist before. A stronger you, a wiser you, a more capable you. People might have doubted you. You might have even doubted yourself. But the fact that you're still here means you've got more fight, more vision, more possibility left inside you. You don't need to apologize for who you are. You don't need to shrink because someone else can't understand your journey. You don't need to rewrite your story to make others comfortable. Your life is not a mistake. Your presence is not accidental. Your dreams are not unrealistic. They're aligned with who you were built to be. You are exactly where you need to be to start becoming who you're meant to be. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You're a work in progress, just like every successful person you admire. And the greatest part, you still have chapters left to write. You still have breakthroughs waiting for you. You still have strength you haven't tapped into. You still have potential that hasn't been unlocked. So lift your head, stand in your truth, own your story. Because the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real you, the resilient you, the evolving you, the determined you. You're not a mistake. You never were. You're the exact person you were meant to become, and your journey is far from over. Your past didn't break you. It built the exact strength you need for the future you're meant to create, because every challenge you've lived through wasn't there to stop you. It was there to shape you. Most people look at their past like it's this heavy weight they're forced to drag behind them. But the truth is, those experiences were training. They were preparation. They were the moments that gave you the resilience you didn't even know you were developing. Every time you thought you couldn't go on, but somehow did, you were building something inside you that you're only now beginning to understand. Think back to the moments that hurt the most, the disappointments, the betrayals, the failures. At the time, they felt like the end. They felt like proof that you weren't enough or that life was pushing you down on purpose. But look at you now. You survived things you once thought you never would. You kept moving when everything around you was falling apart. You kept believing even on the days you felt too tired to hope. You might not have realized it then, but every one of those moments was building your emotional muscle, your mental toughness, your ability to rise even when you're tired, scared, or uncertain. Growth never comes from comfort. Strength never comes from easy chapters. You don't become powerful by winning every time. You become powerful by learning how to keep going after you lose. You become powerful by discovering that the world can push you, bend you, pressure you, but it can't break you unless you allow it. And you didn't allow it. Even in your lowest moments, something in you refused to quit. That something wasn't luck. That was your inner strength being forged through experience. There were nights you cried yourself to sleep, but still woke up the next morning ready to try again. That was strength. There were moments when people walked out on you, doubted you, or said you'd never rise, and you kept moving anyway. That was strength. There were days where you felt lost, confused, or stuck, yet you pushed through. That was strength. And the person you are today, the one reading this, the one still standing, that person didn't appear out of nowhere. That person was built piece by piece by everything you've endured. And here's what most people don't realize: the traits you admire in successful people: resilience, focus, confidence, clarity. Those traits were born in pain. They were born in struggle. They were born in the moments nobody else saw. The people you look up to didn't become strong because life treated them gently. They became strong because life tested them the same way life has tested you. The only difference is they recognized that their past was not punishment. It was preparation. And you're standing in that same position right now. All those setbacks you thought were pushing you backwards, they were actually pushing you forward. They were teaching you who you are, what you stand for, what you can survive, what you can overcome. They were teaching you to trust yourself, to rely on yourself, to understand that even when everything seems uncertain, you still have the power to take control of your future. Your past didn't steal your strength, it gave it to you. You are not weak because you struggled. You are strong because you kept going. You're not behind because you took the long way. You're wiser because you learned along the way. You're not defined by the things that hurt you. You're defined by the way you rose after being hurt. That's your real story. That's your real power. And everything you've survived is shaping the future you're meant to build. You're not a mistake. Every part of your journey has shaped the person you were always destined to become. And I need you to hear that clearly, because so many people walk around thinking their struggles, their failures, their missteps mean they're somehow flawed. But that's a lie. Every experience, every setback, every victory, every lesson, even the ones that felt painful, embarrassing, or unfair, was designed to create the exact person you are today. Life doesn't make mistakes. Life doesn't waste experiences. Every challenge you faced, every mistake you thought would define you, was actually preparing you for the chapters ahead, the chapters that will show the world your strength, your resilience, and your purpose. Think about the moments where you doubted yourself the most. The times you questioned if you were good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. The times you felt invisible, unappreciated, or overlooked. That's not proof that you're a mistake. That's proof that life was shaping your patience, your perseverance, your understanding of what really matters. Those moments teach you humility, resilience, and perspective. They teach you the value of persistence and the importance of staying committed when the outcome isn't immediate. They teach you to trust yourself when no one else does. Every experience, no matter how painful, is an essential thread in the fabric of who you are. Even the mistakes you regret, the choices you wish you could undo, they are not proof of failure. They are proof of growth. Every time you stumbled, every time you failed, you learned something invaluable. You learned what doesn't work. You learned your limits. You learned your priorities. And in those lessons, you gain knowledge that no success alone could teach you. You are exactly who you're meant to be because of those lessons. You are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday. You are a product of every triumph and every trial, every joy and every heartbreak, every yes and every no. That is your story, and it's not a mistake. It's a masterpiece in progress. Sometimes we look at people who seem successful and assume their path was flawless. We assume they never struggled, never failed, never faced moments of doubt. But the truth is, the people who reach their highest potential are not the ones who avoided mistakes. They're the ones who embraced them, learned from them, and allowed those experiences to shape them into someone extraordinary. Your journey works the same way. Your struggles, your doubts, your missteps, they are not signs that you're off course. They are signs that you are on a path of transformation, becoming the exact person you were meant to be. You might feel pressure to be someone else, to fit a mold, to meet expectations that aren't yours. You might be tempted to compare yourself to others, to think their story is better, faster, easier, but comparison is a trap. Your path is unique. Your timing is unique. Your growth is unique. You were never meant to be anyone else. The experiences you've had, good and bad, have given you skills, insight, and resilience that nobody else can replicate. You are an original, built to face your own challenges and to accomplish your own purpose. There's no one in the world who can walk your path exactly like you, and that is your strength. Every scar you carry, every failure you have survived, every lesson you've learned, they're not blemishes. They are proof that you're alive, learning, evolving, and moving forward. They are evidence that you are not a mistake, because mistakes don't teach, mistakes don't endure, mistakes don't transform. You have endured, you have learned, you have own. You are transforming. And that transformation is exactly what makes you who you're meant to be. It's what equips you to take on your future, to build your dreams, to influence the people around you, and to leave a legacy that only you can leave. So embrace your journey, every part of it, every moment, every decision. Own your story, including the parts you once wished were different. Recognize that every experience, every struggle, every victory, and every failure was necessary to bring you to the person you are now. You are not a mistake. You are exactly who you're meant to be, and the best chapters of your story are still ahead of you, waiting for the strength, wisdom, and courage that you've been building all along.